Well, today's the day. We have everything we have here to fix the Creamy Beaver's fuel gauge. In fact, I got a new old stock 3 of 25 of 1967 gauge. So we'll see. We'll see how it works, and we're gonna pop this thing in, and we're gonna see what we what exactly is wrong. Yes, last week on last video, I popped on here the actual sending unit, and it still only showed half. But we're going to make sure that we don't have any, nicks or in the wire, and there's some sort of voltage drop. I'm going to do a resistance check on it. I'm going to pop the dash out. I got a couple new, I did replace these are solid state, so I'm going to put those in, and then we're just going to check it out. And then this right here, I'm just going to jack it up, and we're going to make sure that we can get a full tank out of it, so that way we can kind of see what it is. Because like I said, I'm going to be driving this quite a bit more, so I would like to just fill it up and then not guess and try to figure out math where I'm at. So first thing you do, disconnect the battery. We don't want any shorts. Disconnect the battery. One more time for the people in the back. Disconnect the battery. I'm going to do my best here, but there's 3 bolts that hold the steering column to the firewall. Take those loose. Then there's 3 bolts on these little plastic trays. Take those loose. And then, I don't know if you can see it, I'm going to do my best, but right in here, if you can see it right there, that is the speedo cable. Take that thing loose. I have it set up to where the plastic clip is down on the bottom, so that way I can just reach up in there and grab that. That was done on purpose, in case I ever had a problem with it. So that way you can pull this thing out much easier, because it's a pain in the butt. Then you basically take out all the little bolts here and there, and we're going to pop this thing out. Next step is to pull the dash out. Be careful with these. They like to pull off the pins. This is going to be on the other side. Wipers, headlights, and flasher. Make sure to pull them out really easily. And that's the speedometer clip. Pull it out make sure that the clip's down on the bottom. Makes it nice and easy. Then now I did do some work on this. I did solder these last time this was out, and then I always connect the grounds, because these things like to drop grounds. I think this thing just might have just been expired. I even soldered all of these, and it's just not getting great connection. I'm going to check it again. I do have a new gauge for it, but I'm not thinking it's that. I'm going to try to clean this up the best I can. I'm going to try to sand all this in here, and then see if I can make little jumpers from here to there. This section right here looks like it's funky, but it's making connection, but it's just not the great connection. So I'm going to see if I can clean this up and then move on from there. Here's a little tip when you're taking apart these. After you take off the board, I put one on each one of these back in here. Take off all this, so that way when you take this off here, the gauges don't fall out. So that way it's a little easier, a little safer. That way none of these things are falling out on you. And then I got the board here. I'm basically going to put these 2 wires on here, solder them, and I'm going to start testing all the continuity here to make sure that it's got continuity from the tip to the end. And I'm going to check every single one. Something's not touching, I do believe. Also, too, the wires here that go on here, I'm actually going to cut the wires. I'm going to solder the wire onto here, go through, and then have a connector, like just a spade connector, so that way it connects the 2. I'm going to try that. Eventually, I'm going to buy a new board. I'm going to try this real quick, and if this works outside, and I'm just going to have this thing. Right now I just got just a temporary deal, just to make it work. Make sure that I don't want to put this all together and it not work. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is where I'm at. As I find things, I'll keep on going. I'm going to install the new gauge, and then go from there. Alrighty, moving on. Okay, so what I did is I soldered each one of these onto there. I'm going to put a spade connector on those, and then what I did is not only did I solder the wire to that, but then also that pin to that. It would have been easier probably just to pull the pins out and solder these things straight to it, but I did what I did. Also, too, what I did is I wiggled them. So as you test it at this end, wiggle it back and forth and check for your connections. Make sure that it's not wiggling and getting the connection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some shrink tubing on this, on each one of these, and then I'm going to shrink that down, put some spade connectors on here, and then I'm going to try it again, see if we actually get a gauge this time already. And what I did too here is I wired all these in, and these have all been soldered. And then between this line, which is the dark blue, this goes all the way to the back to the gas gauge, that gas sending unit, sorry. And so I have 0.02 ohms of resistance there. So hopefully this means I have a working gas gauge now. Okay, moment of truth. That's the new sending unit. Now I haven't tried the other one yet, but here it goes. So let's turn it on. Hey, we have lights. All right, so let's see if it... Oh, it's moving. I didn't think it was going to move for a second. Oh, wait a second. It stopped moving. Oh, no, there it goes. Look at that. It's already doing better. It's showing almost a full tank.
I gotta see this.
Look.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that in a year. The gas debacle.
Yeah. There it is. Full tank. Let's see if it goes down to halfway. So I just moved it down to halfway-ish. Let's see if it goes down. It's going down. Looky, looky. It works. It's
well
slow.
Done.
Yeah.
Wow. What skill that took. I kept popping in and I kept seeing everything you were doing, and that was a lot of detail work with the soldering and
yeah, so
trial and error.
There we go. So half a tank is half a tank, and there it goes down. So beautiful. There it is. Perfect. Moving on. Wet creamy beaver watching a wet creamy beaver. Ha ha ha.
Jeez.
Yep.
Have to get me washing my beaver.
Yeah, right.
Never a dull moment.
Right, right.
I can't do anything around this house.
So we're gonna go fill it up. I put a little of the leftover fuel in it from the lawnmower, and then we're gonna go, after we do this, we're gonna go fill it up, and hopefully it's done if we get a full tank. I did. Now the temperature gauge is working correctly, so I need to put a 180 thermostat in it. So, anyways, we'll get the drive of that. Yay!